An update now on our breaking news, the apple fire that's still growing tonight. Fire crews now have 5% containment. That's after more than 20,000 acres have burned. Good evening, I'm Hermela Argawi.
And I'm Leslie Marin. Well, flames are spreading deeper into the San Bernardino National Forest. The containment has gone up, but this fire is still continuing to grow.
That's right, CBS 2's Desmond Shaw is overhead in Sky 2. Desmond.
Yeah, Leslie and Hermel, I wanted to zoom in on this fire right here. This is the closest fire we've seen to some homes. This is deep down in the canyon in the Cherry Valley area near where the fire kind of started. It's almost kind of a separate fire, and I know we're really high above this, so I know it's kind of hard to see, but there are some firefighters here kind of monitoring, trying to keep this section of the, actually there's quite a few firefighters you can see keeping this section of the fire containment. I'll zoom out to give you more of a perspective of this mammoth fire that is well over 20,000 acres. It's just so difficult to fight because you see how steep these mountains, actually the steepest in all of Southern California, and that's why the fire is able to race up the hillsides to the top of the San Gorgonio Wilderness. Now, as I pan over to the east, you can see how the smoke is just beginning to waft towards the Palm Springs area and over towards Mount San Jacinto. That's going to be more to the right of the shot. So we have been seeing the DC-10s down at San Bernardino Airport. They've been coming and refueling with a bunch of fire retardant and dropping them on the tops of these hillsides right now. So they're determined to try to keep it from spreading any farther to the north towards the Big Bear area, but still obviously completely out of control. Only 5% containment at this point. Live in Sky 2 overhead, I'm Desmond Shaw. Send it back to you ladies now in the studio.
All right, Desmond, thank you so much. We've got a little bit of containment, a little bit of good news. All right, thousands of people have been told to evacuate and more are under warnings to be ready to leave.
Hundreds of firefighters are expecting another busy night in steep, rugged terrain. CBS 2's Joy Benedict shows us how firefighters have been protecting homes.
As the sun rose on day 3 of the apple fire, it sent out a signal of destruction that could be seen for miles. Flames flashed along the mountainside all day, while those living nearby could do little but just watch.
The fire now is burning on the other side of it.
Doug Hammer lives up on Bluff Street, north of Banning. He's watched firefighters push the flames away from his home for 2 days now.
The fire burnt north of us for quite some time, and then eventually it worked its way over here.
But as the fire started making its way down Mayas Canyon, he feared for his neighbor's ranch across the way.
There's a fire truck sitting amongst the trees over there next to the home.
And although we could see several things burn, when the smoke cleared, the home was still standing.
They must have their hoses in a swimming pool or something to draft water because they're actually sitting in place. And they've done a good job. The home has been saved.
In fact, CAL FIRE had engines placed in every neighborhood as more than 1,300 firefighters stood guard saving hundreds of homes this weekend. And the air attack of water and retardant gave the apple fire the 1-2 punch, pushing it further into the San Bernardino National Forest away from the communities below.
The firefighters did just a fabulous job in keeping everything under control. They were on it right away.
One home in Cherry Valley was destroyed when the fire first started Friday night, but thankfully the home was under renovation and not being lived in at the time. The American Red Cross has set up a shelter over at Beaumont High School for those who are displaced because of this fire. But despite the fact that about 7,800 people were supposed to be out of their homes, they've only seen a few dozen families show up here. And because of everything going on with the coronavirus, they've been given hotel vouchers to stay elsewhere.
Folks that are not taking advantage of it because they're obviously concerned about COVID-19, we have measures in place for that. We planned for this months ahead.
But most sheltering in place inside the evacuation area say they simply feel safer at home, especially since they know they aren't alone. Joy Benedict, CBS 2 News.
And people in the evacuation zone can search their address to find out what's happening to their property. The link is on our website, cbsla.com. Just click Seen on TV.